This is the second of 3 videos we have coming out tonight. This is going over the Frost and Radiant heroes. Brand new heroes. We're on the test server and they are amazing. If you didn't check out my other ones with the fire and the poison and the necrosis, go check out those videos going over every single one of these. Over here in Frost, I think we only have 2 new legendaries. And this guy, let's talk about him first because he's an Ice Blast hero. You know how strong Ice Blast is. So if they're going to bring in an Ice Blast legendary, he's got to be a heavy hitter, right? He doesn't look like one. He looks like an intellectual, not a heavy hitter, but maybe he's got some secrets up his sleeve because this guy gets up to 100% additional critical damage, just like Total Nan does. And you know how powerful that is. To get a hero that has a buff, this actually gives a debuff to the enemy, stacks up to 5 times. He's then hitting for 100% additional critical damage with this. Plus, once he gets up to his 5 stacks, when attacking enemies with full stacks of map pin, he ignores 60% defense. This hero's basic attack will attack enemies with the most map pins on. Okay, 100% additional critical damage, 60% defense ignored. This guy has to hit harder than Girthin. Because what's the point, right? You bring Shinna in. Shinna's the snake lady that gives you all the ice crystals you can use. She gives you increased attack for your team. And then you bring Girthin in along with this guy. We got to test him on the test server. I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll be streaming every day. We'll be testing all of this out. But I just got to believe that this guy's going to hit so hard. Right here, ice crystals, he's going to be doing this move over and over and over, with ignoring 60% defense. I don't see that these map pins expired. I'm hoping they're gold border. Whenever he puts them on, they stay on. He gets 5 up, 100% critical damage, ignoring 60% defense. I mean, come on. He's got to hit hard. If he doesn't hit hard, what was the point of bringing him on and putting him as a new hero in here? His ultimate hits pretty good. Converts 25% of the damage dealt to this hero's HP, so he's healing back. And then if there's, for every stack of map pin on the enemy, it increases the conversion rate by 5%. So more healing. He seems pretty simplistic, but I bet he's going to hit crazy hard. He's got to. I can't wait to test him tomorrow. To his left, Felissa Berta, I believe is how you say her name. Again, loving the aesthetics. We get to increase our attack in Gladiator Arena. At the start of the battle, she inflicts a mark on someone with the highest attack. When the enemy under this mark dies, it retargets to the next person with the highest attack. Enemies under this mark, whenever they gain a buff, they reduce their recharge time of that hero's battle skill by 20%, and this hero recharges its ultimate by 20%. That's strong. It's always going to be up every 5 seconds, sure, is how often we can increase our ultimate, her ultimate, by 20%. Knocking back their battle skill is cool. It's not the coolest thing in the world, but 20% reduction in their battle skill is nice. But she just puts this on. Like, you can't stop it. It's on the person with the highest attack. They get a buff. Their battle skill goes down, but her ultimate goes up every 5 seconds. And this just keeps going on to the next person even after they die. Move to the enemy with the highest attack. Remove their shield. Steal 1 buff from them. We attack them with enlightenment damage and attack. This skill ignores 50% of the enemy's resistance because we're stealing buffs from them, right? And removing shield. Also blocks the enemy from resurrecting upon death. Okay, that's nice. So you go over there, you smack somebody really hard or decently hard. You remove 1 buff, you remove their shield, which is very strong, right? Removing shields, because shields are a big thing in Arena. You go over there to the person with the highest attack. They're already marked, so maybe you get your ultimate faster. Then you freeze everybody. Boom, they're frozen. Then you kill that person you were already on because they're getting low and they cannot be revived. Could be cool. I like support more. I actually like this guy more because his 60% defense ignore and 100% additional critical damage sounds like a good time. She is also an Ice Blast, and she's an epic, correct? Yeah, epic. Critical damage. Now, this is a mistake. We looked at this today on the test server. She's not giving 48 critical damage. It's probably going to be 24% critical damage, which is great because whenever I use my Ice Blast team, I'm using 2 legendaries and 2 epics and a healer on a chief challenge because they're easier this season. And I have no all battle skill, nothing that I can use there. So now if we have somebody with an all battle skill, that would be great if they're worth using. When you possess 3 or more ice crystal stacks, skills release will have an additional effect. Okay, what do we got? We're dealing 250% of attack. Every stack of ice crystal increases the damage dealt by 10%. That's pretty strong. Plus 4% targets max HP if we have 3 or more stacks. No more than 200% of the target's attack. Now, I've played Aura a lot this season. I don't really like heroes based off of targets max HP. They don't seem to do really well. But since this person's already going to hit very hard with 250%, I think Girthin's maybe 300 and something, 350%. She hits really hard on her battle skill. This will increase it, right? Increase the damage dealt by 10% per ice crystal stack. And then, of course, if we have 3 or more, it might equal out to be a Girthin type damage. I don't think so, but it could. Possess 3 or more, we get that increased skill. I don't know, it could. We'll have to test this. Throw us an ice lance at the enemy. We're doing damage to nearby enemies 3x3. Okay, another ice. This is our second ice blast person that can do a small AoE ability. 30% chance to obtain ice crystals, and additionally, this hero gains 15 attack up. So we need to test her. I mean, it's all on this, right? With ice crystal people. It's all on their battle skill, how strong that battle skill is. I'll go over to that rare. I did see her. Just trying to make sure we don't have any other. I think this is it. All right, Roberta's in the house. She is a rare. If this hero possesses ice crystals, unleash the ice crystal to do her battle skill again. So a rare like Nord, 2 projectiles at the enemy. This skill ignores 40% defense. What's up with all this ignoring of defense? If this skill consumes ice crystals, the projectiles will be enhanced to 180% of attack. So it's not adding these two. We're doing 2 hits of 180, which is strong. If we have ice crystals, if you consume an ice crystal, obviously we're going to consume an ice crystal. We're going to make sure that we play her with somebody who's going to get her enough ice crystals up to make sure she can do her battle skill over and over. So it's 180 times 2, which is strong, and we're ignoring 40% defense on a rare. Strike the enemy 3 times and a big cross section for a rare. Man, they love these ice crystal guys. I love them too, so I'm glad they're making them strong, but this is a big section for a rare. I guess she's melee maybe. Decent damage with a 100%, 75% chance to gain an ice stack. So she's got 3 shots to gain an ice stack, which is pretty good. Pretty good to not self-sustain completely with her having 5 stacks all the time, but pretty damn nice for a rare hero. I wish they made all rare heroes like that, like they do with ice crystals. Okay, Radiant. I have not read over these Radiant heroes at all, and I'm hoping there's a new aura. There is. And this new support. Okay, come on. Be something good for new aura. More cats. She's kind of cool. Increase attack in all battles. Excellent, but we already have that on another legendary. Remember, the other 2 aura legendaries besides the exclusive, besides Amon, are bad. Like they're terribly bad, and they haven't been buffed yet. We enter Blaze State when we have 100 aura. When aura allies consume aura energy, recharge 5% ultimate energy and grant 1 stack of critical damage up to the aura ally with the most attack and herself, up to 20 stacks. Now, is this a permanent? It doesn't say a time that it... This looks like a permanent buff. Critical damage up to the aura ally with the highest attack and her up to 20 stacks. I'm assuming it's 1% critical damage. She recharges her ultimate, so that's good, so we can get to her ultimate more often. Okay, this looks like it's going to help out somebody on your team that's hitting really hard, but what aura hero besides the exclusive hits really hard, since they keep doing this with all the legendaries? Maybe this one hits hard. Gain 15 aura energy and deals radiant damage to the enemies and nearby enemies. The hero gains extra 10 aura energy when you hit only 1 enemy. While in Blaze State, consume 5 of this and deal damage based off enemy max HP, which is really terrible. The hero gains 30 aura energy and releases an energy wave that can bounce between enemies up to 4 times. Each bounce does damage. Does not bounce after being released. 40% of the consumed energy will be returned. Okay, that's pretty good for a single target. I like that they thought about AoE, and then they also thought what would happen when there's only 1 target. When in Blaze State, we consume that, and we do 5% targets max HP on top of this. And the number of bounce goes to 6. So AoE, again, like Aura has a lot of stuff for AoE, but it's a lot of AoE that we haven't been able to take advantage of. Season 3 had no boss, in-game boss that was AoE, and then we didn't really have many other things that were AoE. At in-game or going toward in-game, yeah, you could do AoE if you want to with like heretical runes, the phoenix that keep coming back. But you could also do that with all your rally heroes as well. Although rally legendaries are far superior than something like Linkos or Diantha, and even to an extent Amon, definitely Amon, because I'm using all my rally heroes as speed runs instead of using my exclusive one here, which is very hard to get. So I'm not going to cry about it any further than I already am. Let's just move on and stop talking about Aura heroes. Did we get another one down here? We got a new support. When successfully dispelling any debuff, heal the ally with the current lowest percentage HP by 10% of target's max HP and enlightenment. When successfully dispelling any debuff. This is melee and it's really tight around this person. Is this person supposed to be like a DPSer, but then kind of every once in a while give you a heal, but we need accuracy to dispel a debuff, and then we're going to get some kind of heal based off of enlightenment, but this hero doesn't do damage based off of enlightenment right here? Wait, what? Dispels all debuffs from the ally with the highest attack and grants them debuff immunity. What is this, another Alvis? Because Alvis is pretty terrible for rally. This is just a support hero that does no damage here. Dispels all debuffs from an ally with the highest attack, grants them debuff immunity and control immunity for 10 seconds. Is this a typo? Maybe when we go to the live server, this epic, by the way, right? An epic hero? If this was a rare, okay, I would understand. No, this is an epic. It's going to do this to 1. And then be melee, run up in the mix, get lit up, get killed, do some damage, try to dispel some debuffs, and then try to get some heals. If this hero stays this way when it comes out, it's definitely the weakest hero I've seen this season. We'll see if that remains true or not. Wait, we forgot to go over this guy. Whew. All right, one last one. For every 15 times of damage dealt or taken by the hero and his clones, they will enter an undispellable invisibility for 3 seconds. A clone will be summoned at the same time. At the start of battle, gains invisibility and summons a clone, up to 5 clones on the battlefield at the same time. I guess any mix of us doing 15 damage or taking damage. It could be us doing 10 damage and then taking 5 damage. I guess that would give invisibility and get a clone, which invisibility would drop aggro. We wouldn't be getting damage anymore. AoE damage, sure, but not single target damage. And then we summon a clone. Only 5 clones on the battlefield. 3x3 attack places a clone near the enemy with the highest attack, dealing radiant damage to the nearby enemies with the clone as the center. So really tight group center around it with a 100% chance to inflict taunt on them for 3.5 seconds. Really? Taunt? So we're talking more of a tank here than a damage dealer. 300% of radiant attack. Clones. Sounds fun. Jump to the target area, deal radiant damage to enemies within range with a 100% chance to apply attack penalty 2 on them. Meanwhile, the hero gains attack speed up for 10 seconds, enhances his basic attack for 12 seconds. In this period, basic attacks deal additional radiant damage to enemies twice and heal the hero and the clones by 5% of max HP. Okay, definitely a tank, but it sounds like a really fun tank. But if you're dropping aggro with his main body here, the clone is still around to take aggro or to maybe even provoke, like on this one right on the battle skill. And then here you're going to jump to the target area, do AoE damage, or at least a cross-section damage, attack penalty, attack speed increase. Your basic attack gets enhanced to start healing to where it hits twice and heals the hero and the clones by 5% of max HP. That could be nice. I mean, with even more attack speed, he's attacking even faster. His health is just going to keep going up, staying up, staying up, staying up. Maybe the clone too. We'll have to see how strong the clone is. He's going to be fun. Fun to play. I don't know exactly where we're going to play him. PvP, I could see it there. Fae, Pillar. We don't need him on Vortex. We don't need him on like an in-game boss unless he's doing a lot of damage. We don't need him on a Chief. Well, we could use him on a Chief challenge. A lot of those Chief challenges, sometimes we need a tank, but most times we just use a healer as a tank. Somebody that can heal us and tank for us at the same time. But interesting. I think it's a good addition to Radiant since Radiant has so many other, like so much healing, so much damage dealers. It's nice to see something like that in there. Like this kind of a tank class is a really good addition for Radiant since they have so much. Like we could just play Radiant by themselves and take care of everything in the game pretty much, except for maybe decrease attack, which we did get with Rose. No. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let me know your favorite hero down below. We've got one more video to do tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.